Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Soul, Light, and Body. Today is such a beautiful day because we're here once again and we're given this golden opportunity that we can make changes with our lives. And once we step into that space, you're going to see that transformation happening. That transformation that is going to start happening in your life, it's going to amaze you. And you will even ask yourself, why did I wait so long? But everything is a process. Transformation is a process. It takes time. Every day you got to work on yourself. You got to use some form of modality to work on yourself to see that transformation. It's not an overnight thing. You got to show up, you got to surrender, you got to accept, and then you're going to start to see the transformation happening in your life. How are you doing today? How are you showing up in the world? How are you showing up for yourself? Are you being authentic with yourself? What are some of the things that you're telling yourself every single day when you show up in front of that mirror? Are you being gracious with yourself? Are you being compassionate with yourself? Because many times we show up, but we don't show up fully. We don't even show up fully for ourselves. So how can we show up fully for someone else when we get into space? It's time that we step back and we check in with ourselves and see what is really happening with our mind and our body, because we just on the go and we're not stepping back, we're not pausing and checking in with the mind and the body and see exactly what's happening. Every day we are given this opportunity to make a fresh start, and we can do it. It's all in our hands. And if you can't, grab yourself a coach. Reach out and grab yourself a coach. Invest in yourself. It's time that we all invest in ourselves, because we keep running, but what are you running to? And what are you running from? That's the question. What are you running to? And what are you running from? So it's the time that you have to sit. If you want to experience that transformation in your life, it's time that you sit with yourself, be honest with yourself, surrender, acceptance, and reach out. How is your support system? Do you have a support system? Do you have people who would show up for you and hold that authentic space for you? Do you have that? What are you listening to? The people that you have around you, are they lifting you up or are they putting you down? What choice of words are they telling you? And what choice of words are you telling yourself? Are you journaling? Because many times we just hop off our bed, we don't even stop to give gratitude, to be grateful for life. It's time that we find that modality, if it's yoga, meditation, prayers, whatever suits you and working for you, start. Each day, be grateful. Be grateful for each day in your life. Are there many clutter in your life, in and around you? It's time that we check in. And if there is a lot of clutter, it's time to declutter, because those things hold us back. Those are energies that really hold us back. And it's time that we pause, we check in. When last did you reach out and check in with a friend and see how that friend is doing? Or send a beautiful message to a friend or your mom or your sister, your uncle, your children. When last you did that? Send them a message, check in with them, see how they're doing. Let them know how much you love them and care about them. Show up for them. You be that support system for a friend and for a loved one. And be authentic about it. Be authentic about it. Because we all go through challenges. We all go through challenges. But what modalities are you using when these challenges arise in your life? So today we have such a beautiful guest, and he is here to share his journey with us. He's only 25 years old, only 25. And the gems that he's going to drop this morning, it will really amaze you to see at 25-year-old his journey and how this journey transformed his life. He surrendered and allowed the divine to take the wheel and transform his life. He's going to tell you all about it this morning. Sit back, grab a notepad, a pen, a cup of coffee, a glass of water, green juice, whatever. Just sit back there and ride with us for this 1 hour and make your notes, because he's going to give us some beautiful tools this morning so we can incorporate in our lives to start to take action and move forward. I am Karen Pascal, holistic health and wellness coach and a co-author of 2 ebooks with my sister Joan Williams. Also, we have a digital magazine and a hard copy magazine. And if you have not subscribed as yet, go to the comments below and subscribe so you could receive these magazines in your mailbox, and you will absolutely enjoy the articles that is in this magazine. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Soul, Light, and Body, that you will never miss none of these juicy episodes. I'll now hand you over to Miss Joan Williams. Joan, take the mic.
Wow, great opening as always. Good morning to everyone, those who are watching us on the live and those who are going to catch us on the replay. Happy Friday to all of you. We've given another chance that we can create our excellence, walk in our greatness, show up with that level of authority wherever we are, whatever field we're functioning. What are your I ams? What do you say to yourself? I'm beautiful. I'm special. I'm worthy. I'm deserving. Are you able to say that? Are you able to harness that within and repeat that to yourself daily on a daily basis and know that you are enough? Yes, you are enough. And you're special and you're one of a kind. Yes, you are. You're watching us. Yes, you are. Are you able to set your intentions? Because setting intentions are so important. And when we set our intentions, it must be clear. It must be clear as crystal. It must have a level of clarity. And what we do after that, we move with a level of confidence. We move with a level of confidence and feel self assured that yes, it's very definitive. This is what I'm working on, this is what I desire. And be realistic. Are you showing yourself love and compassion? Love on yourself every day. Show yourself compassion. Don't be hard on yourself. Life is full of many challenges. And how we take care of ourselves as individual, our body, because this is the one thing that is given to us, and this is the vehicle that we travel through life with. And how we take care of it is key. It's very important. Nourish yourself. Nourish yourself with quality food. Stay hydrated. Look what you're eating. Look what you're listening to, because nourishing yourself is not only what you eat on the plate, which we focus on, which is 12 components. Your relationship with yourself, with others, your significant other, your finances, your joy, your creativity, your spirituality, your physical activity. What are you doing outside of the plate to nourish yourself? That's the question. Sit with that for a minute. and ask yourself. I wanted to just talk to caregivers this morning because with caregivers, we know that it's very challenging. Remember to take some time, remember to pause and take some time for yourself and keep your cup filled because we're all givers and we as caregivers and everybody else because whatever capacity you function in, you give all the time. And let's not forget, just keeping our cup filled. So when we show up, we can show up with our power, that love, and continue giving because it's like a pipe. It continue flowing. Remember that. And just know that you're special. Remember to thank the people in your lives who've got you where you are. Sometimes you felt like giving up. Sometimes you didn't even realize that you got this gift within you. And the person that you were surrounded by was able to support you and say, no, you got this. We're not going to let you give up. You got this. And they rally around you and they held you by your hand. Those moments when you just feel, I can't do this anymore. They were there for you. The people in your lives who help you to bounce back from adversity. Because sometimes when you go through adversity, you stay stuck. And it takes a lot to get back up. You got to reach inside of yourself and go in that inner space and able to harness that will together with your source, whatever your source is, God, whatever is it, your faith, your determination, your courage, and able to pull yourself up to move forward in life. Because sometimes you get beat down. But the big magical moment is when you can get back up and say, I'm still in the game called life. And you're able to move forward with all that stuff. Thank you for being here today. We love you. Thank you for subscribing to our Soul Light and Body channel. Thank you for sending us great reviews about the magazine and how you're enjoying it. And it's just a nice additional piece to start healthy and living a healthy lifestyle. Because that's all we want, to stay healthy, live full. My name is Joan Williams, Holistic Health and Wellness Coach. And look out for a newsletter. We're still working on that. It's going to be out soon, and other projects that we're working on. Today is such an amazing day because I know you hear me keep saying that, but we have another chance to be here. And we have a wonderful guest. I know you may say, oh my God, all the guests are one. Yes, they are. They are amazing because what they do for soul, light, and body, they come with such a level of value. Each one come with a level of their own expertise and help us all to experience something beautiful and wonderful. And we can take what we need and apply it to our lives and leave the rest. So our guest today is Quenton, and he is gonna let us understand it's just more than mindset. And his story is so amazing. And when you listen to his story and the challenges that he has been through, and his support system, his mom, his beautiful wife, his two lovely kids, and his friends that rally around him, that who you are seeing today, this amazing man, been through something, but he chose not to stay there. He chose to move forward, and now here he is to help us all to understand it's more than just a mindset. Quenton, thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes.
Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate the great introduction for you guys. That was truly something special. And being here today is another blessing, as tomorrow is not promised. So I am very thankful to be, like I said, to be on the show. Thankful for God for allowing me to be on this show and for waking me up this morning. I want to thank him for allowing me to have a great family, a great support system, as you guys said, because without them, I would not be where I'm at today.
Yeah.
And it's just we kind of get confused sometimes and get overwhelmed and don't realize that each day that we wake up, our purpose is still out there and we still have to fulfill it. The day that our purpose is completed is the day that we leave this earth.
Yeah.
And so every morning we have to get up with the same mindset of today's a day I'm going to make a difference. And that's the mindset I've had for the last year or so. And it's literally changed my life to the whole 360 degrees.
Wow, amazing. And just you being here and all the challenges you've been through, lost your dad at the age of 11, and at 14 years you made a leap forward and really become definitive thanks to your mom who guided you, supported you. I know spirituality is a big piece for you because that has sustained you through your years and will continue to, because you hold on to that. That is, you use that as your guide, your guiding principle to
Mhm.
lead you the way forward. So talk to us about losing your dad and then making that decision to move forward and to support yourself together with your mommy, all your family, and every single thing. Talk to us what that was like. Describe for us what it's like. Somebody might be listening, they might lost their mom or lost their dad, and they're trying to navigate. Talk to us about that.
Um, First and foremost, if there is anybody out there listening who has lost a parent and is going through that right now, that traumatic experience, no matter what the age, especially any age below 14 or any age at an adult, 21 and up, those are the times that your brain is cognitively developing, and that's where it's reaching its kind of peak, and then that's where it's kind of starting to begin to really understand things. So the experience itself, I had actually walked downstairs before my dad passed away, and usually I would get into bed with him. But this specific morning, I had decided to go back upstairs for some reason. I had came back down. I saw his phone up and his light open on his phone, but I couldn't find him. I looked outside, looked everywhere. This was an 11-year-old kid. I was thinking he was playing hide and seek. And so for about 20 to 30 minutes, I was looking and ended up finding him in the closet. And I was expecting him to be playing sleep or trying to just play jokes on me, and just have a funny time and a funny joke. So I went and got my brother, called him downstairs, and he lifted my dad's head up and instantly knew from what was on the carpet that he had, it was not good. So he frantically just asked me to call 911. But my first instinct at 11 years old, as I said, I wasn't cognitively ready to understand that situation. So I just broke down and ran out the house to my neighbor's house, full speed, didn't call, didn't do anything. And I just stayed there and watched the ambulance drive by, stayed there and watched my mom drive by, and just listened to her scream was one of the most painful things ever. And I will never forget the time I walked back into the house and I seen everybody on the couch. I then once seen an ambulance. Now I came back and seen a hearse. Well, at the time I didn't know what a hearse was, but I knew it was not good. And so I just asked, "How is he?" And all she said was, "He's with your little brother now, or he's with your brother. He's with your brother now." And so I was like, I just had to accept it. And for the longest time, I was scared to sleep by myself. Countless nights where my mom would stay up in tears. I didn't want to sleep on the side of the bed. I didn't want to do anything. Go in the closet by myself, stay home by myself, and it was as if I was fearing the presence of him or a spirit returning or anything of that sort. And it was just traumatic to me. And as I got older, I kind of developed, my mind started to develop. I started to wrap my head around it more. And as they say, time goes on, things get better. With this specific situation, with me being 11 years old, as time got on, or as time went on, I began to understand more. And when I began to understand more and didn't have that support system that I have now, I started to spiral out of control. And that spiraling left to self harm, left to all types of mental health issues, all types of battles that I could have prevented, not prevented, I could have eased and found peace in with the right support system. So anybody who is going through anything like that of losing a parent, losing a loved one, seek help. Go ask somebody, because you're not going to be able to do it by yourself. It is painful. And still to this day, I, you know, I just try my best to, remember his voice, remember him, and I even got a picture of him hanging up above my desk, because to always remind myself that he's watching. He sees, he hears everything that I say. And after he passed away, he came to me in a dream and told me to take care of my mom. And so that's a little way to kind of put a little fear in my heart as well. Is I know, I know what kind of trouble I got in when I made my dad upset. So I know what would happen if I didn't follow through and get my mom retired by 2023, which I'm going to do. But that whole experience for me led to a road of pain, destruction, isolation, led into my marriage, and that's the things that can happen. It led into my business. If we don't take care of those problems and we don't actually seek out that help, and we don't get those mentors, which is the person who has actually been through something of that sort and felt that pain, then we're going to get to the point that I got to, which was the complete end. I was done. I was, suicidal, and it was it. I had done everything. My mom, my wife were here, my kids, and it didn't register to me that, hey, they're all here watching you do this. Do you really want to do this? Even my mom, are you sure you want to do it with your kids here? And I cut everything out, and I would just left my body, my mind had just gone, and I felt nothing but pain. But with that being said, I couldn't do it. I wanted to so bad, but I couldn't do it. And I was curious for a very long time on why that was. But now I understand that I have a purpose, and I have a calling, and I have a gift, and I have a story, a message, a piece of value that's going to help somebody else. And that message is not complete until it has reached globally, to where everyone understands that support to your mental health, support to your personal health, your physical health, your professional health, whatever it might be, you need, because doing it by yourself, when you are stuck in isolation, if you're doing it by yourself, who's going to pull you out?
Yeah.
And so that was really what kind of helped me. And for the last 6 months, I've just been on a complete, I would like to say, a complete high of life. And it's amazing. My wife sees the difference. My mom sees the difference. I'm not aggressive. I don't get frustrated when I'm sad. I'm sad because I know that he's bringing something big. The worse the situation, the bigger the blessing that's coming. And so it's just an overwhelming feeling. And to think that I would be here 5 to 10 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that. I wouldn't even have thought I would have made it past 18, but I did, because I still have a purpose to pursue, and I still have a passion for that purpose. And I will not, I refuse to give up on my purpose, without being able to serve others and contribute as much as I can.
Wow. 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 Thank you for enlightening us and giving us, outlining and giving us an overview of the different levels and the different stages you have moved through and the support system. And sorry, but the loss of your dad. But what happened? You're here now. You're stronger because of your support system. You're better, you're wiser, and you're taking action. You're taking a stand because you're not only doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for others and leading that way, leading that example, and helping others who have been through the same experience and who are going through it and who will go through it some point in time. And so you are a role model, you're a mentor, you're a guider, you're so much because, and if you want to say God, because your spirituality is your leading principle, is helping you to continue that process and give into the world, and as you spoke globally, to help others. So we just applaud you. We give you your flowers today, and just appreciate you for even being here and have the level of courage and determination and your faith to help us, to show us this is how it's done when you're going through adversity. Nothing is easy. I remember when we spoke to you, you talk about pain and progress, and you talk about change, and you talk about transformation. Can you expand a little bit on that before we toss the mic to Karen?
So basically, and thank you for that compliment. Is very much appreciated. I tell you guys all the time. I learn something new every time I hop on the call with you guys because you guys
Thank,
are just that influential, and I feed off of y'all energy. So thank you guys so much.
thank
But
you.
the thing of change is it's going to happen, and that's when we get uncomfortable. That's
Hmm.
when we start to feel that pain. But Steve Harvey once said, "You don't ever want to get comfortable. You want to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Hmm.
That's how you get through those trials and turn those trials into treasures. You turn that pain into progress, and that's how you're able to just have that gain that you have. Now, change. People say, "Well, you want to become a changed person." Changed person, that still sounds like I'm still the old me. So the way I like to describe it is, imagine all the dirt and all the baggage and all the pain that you felt throughout your life as dirt. That's mud. That's whatever you want to call it, feces, whatever you want to use, that is the nastiest thing in the world. And to change, you're not washing yourself, you're just changing outfits.
Hmm.
Okay, you might put your clothes in the washer, but you didn't wash your body. Your clothes smell good, but your body smell nasty. And so in this situation, you might think that you have good thoughts. Your outward appearance is looking okay, but your mind is still nasty. And so, to complete the metaphor, once you take that shower, refresh yourself, allow yourself to be cleansed,
Hmm.
that's when you are able to be transformed. And the thing is, with transformation, you will always transform. Think about the movie Transformers. They don't just transform one time, they can transform back and forth with each individual time.
Right.
What shows transformation is multiple.
Hmm.
Now, even though they're going back to the same two things, they're still able to transform themselves
Right.
on a consistent basis. And that's what we have to be able to do in order to grow. We have to be open minded, we have to have a growth mindset. And if we don't, we will get left behind because
Sure.
as we see the world and technology is expanding so big. I even like Apple Watch. Who would have ever thought we would have had a phone on our wrist?
Sure.
That
Right.
that is outrageous. I remember when we had Nextels and we could buzz each other like if we were on a walkie-talkie, and I'm blown away. So if the world can transform in that magnitude, why can't our minds?
Yes.
What if, think about it now, if we compare what we have now to what we had then,
Mm-hmm.
could you imagine not transforming your mind
Sure.
and the world developing into what it is now? People see you carrying around a Nextel nowadays, they're going to look at you a certain way and be like, whoa, where did you find that? Because I don't even think they sell that in stores anymore. But the truth is, people sometimes they just change. That's all they want is change. Change is okay, but transformation, now that is uncomfortable. You're asking me to transform my life, something that I've been doing for X amount of years. You're asking me to completely redefine, reconstruct that. No, why would I do that? Why would I? It's nothing going on right now. So you're telling me that you going out and you drinking and driving, you going out and being aggressive, you not being active in your family, you going out and you know not being your true self, living to your fullest potential, you don't recognize that because it's like I've become comfortable with it. Mm,
Right.
comfort's where we at. When you sleep in a bed, you don't want an uncomfortable bed. Who wants to sleep on a comfortable bed? So comfort, it's good. Yeah, it has a it has a good association with it, good connotation. So why would we want to be uncomfortable? But the thing is, with life, it's the total opposite.
Mm-hmm.
When we get comfortable, then we get stuck, and we are unable to take. I wouldn't even say that leap. Someone told me not that leap of faith, but the step into our destiny.
True. True.
Yes.
And so that meant a lot to me because
Mm.
one day I had changed after the whole self-harming situation, but it wasn't until a few weeks later until I was actually transformed to where I felt it until I and you will feel it when you're transformed. I literally mean you will feel it as if you were in an electric chair and your whole body tense up, and all I could do is cry and cry and cry because I had realized and been able to recall every situation that I've been through my entire life and why I went through it and what I'm here to do now. And I confidently, no matter what anyone has said, have continued on that journey and will continue on that journey because it's my journey to walk on. And God called me to be on this journey. And I will continue to follow what He says in His commands. And I will continue to change others' lives in the positive way.
Wow. Thank you for explaining that metamorphosis and what we have to go through. Karen?
Yeah, Quentin, listening to you at this age of 25 years of age, many 25 years of age don't really speak the way you are speaking, right? And for you to really bring this message out to really help a young person who may be going through a challenge at this point in time with their lives, it will help them to understand that in order for your life to transform, these are some of the things that you have to go through in order to be the butterfly and to fly. And transformation is a process. It's not you're going to get up today. Sometimes you may not feel the way you want to feel, but you got to keep pressing on. Because when you know the goal is transformation, you keep pressing on. And many times we are locked up in a mental prison. I like to call it a mental prison. We are locked up in chains and we are looking for that key to unlock ourselves. And the key sometimes is right within reach, but because of the state of mind that we're going through in this time of this challenge or experience, we can't see that key. But it's always good when we have that support system, because someone in the support system can help us to find that key and to show us where the key is. Because all the answers that we're looking for is within ourselves. And many times we're looking on the outside to get that answer. The answer is within you, but it's how you're looking for the answer. What modalities are you using to find the answer? Are you grabbing yourself a coach who can walk you through the process of finding the answers within yourself? And many times we're not even willing to surrender. We're not willing to surrender because when you surrender, that's the golden moment. When you surrender, that is the golden ticket you could ever do for your life. Because when you surrender, you're going to start to see the transformation happening in your life. Quentin, you talked about pain is progress. Many times people are going through pain and agony and they become so fearful of life. And so many thoughts could be rushing through at that point in time because pain is feelings. What can you tell one thing can you tell someone this morning who is listening and will listen on the replay that is going through pain? What one thing can you tell that individual that they can do to transform their life?
There's either one or two things. There's either the one side where you have transformed and you find that mindset and you're able to kind of redirect yourself, which I've learned to do. I haven't perfected it, which I will never perfect it, but I will constantly on a daily basis transform my mind to get better. Nobody is perfect at all. We're far from it, but I will do whatever I can in my ability to be that quote unquote perfect man, husband, father, son, brother, friend, whatever it might be. So to think about it, to put it into my sense. So I have my mentoring business. I have everything put together. I have numerous amount of people tell me the wisdom that I speak, but yet my business is stagnant. I can get sad because people are like, "Hey, go back to your 9 to 5, man. It's not for you. It's like you're too young right now. You're not meant. It took us 14 years, so you got to take those 14 years. We did the time. Why don't you have to do the time? Even yesterday, to speak of it, and listen to me today. We had a situation to where finances were taken, a lump sum of finances were taken, and it really affected us. And it left us a negative because we had invested everything into this. And for the last 4 months, everything we receive, we invest. In the last 4 months, we have constantly done that. And my wife has supported me. No matter who has said anything, she says, babe, you don't have to explain it to me. I understand. And God put her in my life for a reason, because as I sat there on this couch behind me yesterday and cried because we could not get the funding that we needed to get our project on the start, and I bawled and I cried in her arms, she said, "This is not for me. Deny does not mean delayed." And I, within minutes, stopped crying. And I understood. I realized that God was telling me, "Hey, man, you're asking everybody to do this for you. You're asking your wife to do this, message these people, reach out to these investors, but you don't even help her do the laundry. You don't let her help her fold the clothes, wash the dishes, change it." So that's what I did yesterday. All yesterday, I didn't look at the business. I didn't know. I gave time to her so she can sit down and
Wow.
she can
Wow.
relax. And she don't. So I do the laundry and I apologize to her. Same thing with my cousin. I told him the same thing. I'm so sorry for asking and not giving.
Wow.
Because in a sense, if you give, yes, you may be rewarded, but don't think of it as a reward. Think of it as something that's going to allow you to give more. And
Yeah.
that's the mindset that I have is the money that I get, we even starting to GoFundMe. The money that I get this business off the ground is not a reward. I'm not using it to buy materialistic things. I'm using it to grow because that impact is going to start that ripple effect. And that's how I'm going to contribute. I want to start a nonprofit. The first nonprofit I want to start is for people with autism spectrum disorder. I used to be a registered behavior technician, and to see how some of the kids are treated,
Yeah.
to watch how they're now treated in the workplace, how they're looked at differently, to how I was looked at differently. I had somebody make a joke when I was in high school, and was just talking, and I was trying to work, and I had just made a simple gesture of, just quiet down. And I was like, nobody is trying to listen to that right now. And her remark is, "Your dad is." I'm in 10th grade. My dad has been passed away for 4 years, 5 years, not along with them making jokes about my eyesight and everything else. And so I carried that until I was here. I carried all that pain, everything everyone said. Even the other day, I asked my mom. I said, "Mom, you remember that story where you were so excited for me to get in the car? I was 5 years old. Get in the car. She had a surprise. She got me home. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get something good. It was a chocolate cake. I looked at her and I was like, "What? What is this? This is not what I was expecting. I'm over expecting the game. You got me a cake. I don't want." But as a kid, some kids would be thankful, like, "Oh, a piece of cake. Yes, I want a piece of cake." But I was just ungrateful at that moment. And to this day, like, I was like, I was so unappreciative. And that's why when I began this transformation, that's why I worked so hard to retire her by 2023, which I will do. I am confident in it. I know it will happen. I know that we will be able to financially withstand the bills and the responsibilities that we have, so my wife and I can both stay home and be a part of my daughter's life,
Yes.
Yes.
because tomorrow is not promised. And I learned that firsthand. The night before my dad passed away, the last thing I said to him was, "I hate you," because he told me to go to my room. That was the last words that came out of my mouth. And so I will not allow myself to lose any time with my girls. And I will not allow any man to go without the help that they need, because I see how it affects the women that they're around.
Yeah.
That's why I do what I do. I've been through that pain. My wife, she deals with women. She's been through that pain. And I don't want to wish that pain upon anybody because, in all honesty, the worst physical pain that you can feel has nothing on the pain that mental health challenges bring. The disease itself kills you when you're facing physical health issues. You kill you when you're facing
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
mental health issues. So get help. Pain is tough. It's not easy.
Yes.
But for me to sit here and cry, bawl, and I wish she was in here because she could tell you, I was literally sobbing because I've been doing this for 4 months and seeing nothing but hearing everything because you're 25. But does that mean I'm gonna give up? No,
No.
not even a little bit. Does that mean I'm gonna go back to, the way I was being treated at the 9 to 5? No, it does not, because I understand that God or whatever anyone else may believe is
True.
your inner self, which is me for my spirituality, is the Holy Spirit that's going to guide me into being something that I could have never imagined I would have been to an extent. I knew I was always special, but I didn't know to this extent what impact I was supposed to make until recently. And now it's clear, and now I will make that impact.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. I mean, there is so much to unpack there. And I mean, just piggybacking a little bit and thinking about the things that you said, that you share what you've done and supporting your wife yesterday, helping her to do the laundry, helping her to wash dishes. My goodness, we applaud you for that. We applaud you for that. Talk, just say that to more men who are listening, that supporting your wife is such a key important thing, because helping them and building that relationship and that level of communication, it's so wonderful. Hi, Zion.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Quentin, listening to you, and I'm gonna always go back to 25 years of age, because you help to inspire, men and women. Because listening to your story yesterday, the beauty is when we could acknowledge,
Mm-hmm.
when we could come to that moment of awareness and acknowledge that present moment, acknowledge what's happening in the situation. When we can acknowledge, that's a golden moment where things can emerge so beautifully. Because that moment yesterday, you acknowledge that you don't normally help your wife, and you wanted to make that moment a golden moment for her also. And you made that conscious choice and
Mm-hmm.
decision not to sit there, but to rise up and show up and be the authentic man that you are for your wife and your family. Hats off to you. Hats off to you.
Yes,
Hats
yes,
off to
yeah.
you. Because many times we sit there, and when we sit there, we stay there.
Mm-hmm.
But the acknowledgement, that's the beauty, the
Mm-hmm.
acknowledgement.
Yes.
And you acknowledge that she is your support system. You acknowledge that you're supposed to show up more for her.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, that strengthens a bond, That is strengthening your marriage. That is strengthening your relationship with your wife.
Mhm.
And hats off to your wife also
My God, yes.
for being that woman that she, oh my God, for being that woman showing up for you
Yeah.
in a space and helping you as a man. Because many men, they hold back,
Mhm.
you know, they don't become vulnerable. But when you have a support system that you as a man could become vulnerable and have a wife who could embrace you and tell you the right words that you need to hear in that moment, that bring you to a space of acknowledgement that you could have stand up and start to take action because of awareness of what's happening in that space. So, to the men and the women out there this morning, listen to this 25-year-old who is sharing this message with us today and letting us know that if you're a man and you're struggling, become vulnerable. If you cannot do it on your own, talk to Quentin. Reach out and talk to him
Connect, connect, connect.
because he is going to help you and walk you through the process. Don't just sit there as a man and tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to give up. There is nothing here for me. No, don't sit there. Contact Quentin. Have a talk with him because he is a mentor that is going to facilitate you and give you that space for you to show up, be honest, be authentic, so you could start a healing process with yourself. Quentin, hats off to you. We honor you this
Yeah.
morning.
We honor
Thank
you.
you.
And not
Thank
just to put another layer in that, your wife, you got to go back to your wife as well because she has created an environment and a space that you can feel comfortable as her husband, as her
you.
significant other, that you can be vulnerable because many times people want to be vulnerable, but the space is not created for them
True,
to still have that level of
true.
comfort that I can just let my God, I can just be me. I can just be me. And my significant other, whether it's male or female, understand me at that deep level
Yes.
and that I can feel safe, that
Mhm.
I can be me and he can support me through this moment because I'm having a moment and he's holding me up or she's holding me up and I can just be all of who I am. I can go within, be that vulnerable person and just share and then the other person support you and then be in that moment. And that bond that is created in that moment is magical, is one unimaginable. So that I think there is where that is where the transformation is. That is where the transformation is. And you spoke in on previous shows that you talk about that bliss, and that is what and I'm so happy you said, Karen. To we those of you on the call or those of you going to watch in the replay, reach out to Quentin.
Yes.
Reach out to Chris. If you're a business person, you want to support another business person, a businessman, reach out to him. You looking for coaching, your mentor, reach out to Quentin and his wife because they both can help you, lift you up, bring you to a space that you can receive that level of transformation. You can receive the level of bliss in your life and live your excellence.
It's you guys such to hit the nail on the head. And again, like you guys said, hats off to my wife because whew, she is amazing.
Yes.
And that I just want to say this right here because I talked to her about it yesterday. We have a lot of people, a lot of men in very powerful situations who say a man's mentality is to suck it up and our mindset is all about getting paid and getting laid. That is false.
True.
That is false. Do not seek out women. Seek out a woman.
Yes.
One. That's
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, I have cheated. I have been aggressive. And she has stood by me.
Wow.
Stood by me. As regretful and how much pain I still feel to this day for the actions that I did.
Wow.
She stood strong in who she was.
Wow.
She stood strong. And people are like, oh, how are you vulnerable? Why would you say this on why would you say this? Because now people thinking because I'm open.
Yes.
Someone asked me, how would you talk to people? And what if they say something that tries to expose you? How are you gonna expose me if I already told you everything that I did? I'm open about it. You can't. You just gonna repeat it. Thank you for sharing my
Yes.
story. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I got unpaid advertisement. Um, and so it's. You guys mentioned something else that I really want to touch on. Supporting your significant other, especially women. As a man, I promise you, and I can say this wholeheartedly, you do not want to get to that breaking point. It is dangerous. You're either going to harm yourself or harm someone around you. So stop being that, having that pride, that what we call cocky mentality, to where you feel as if you don't need to change. You have your whole life in front of you. You can act this way, that way. Because truth is, there's not a lot of women out there like my wife. Not to say there's not a lot of good
Sure.
women,
Sure.
but for me, there's nobody better to be in
Yes.
my life than her, because she has gotten me through thick and thin. And I mean, not just punctured through, but I mean, she has pushed me through that thick and thin. And if you guys have any kids, postpartum and pregnancy is serious.
Wow.
It is, oh my goodness. Men, you do not understand, and even me do not understand what women go through to have a child, especially afterwards, dealing with the breastfeeding, dealing with the changing diapers. They're the only one who can supply the food. So unless you want to warm up milk in the middle of the night, but most of the time it's going to be her.
Yeah.
Help her wash the dishes, do the
Mm.
laundry, go
Wow.
clean up the yard, clean up around the house. Tell her she's beautiful. Because
Yes.
yesterday, when I told my wife what I told her, she said it's strange because literally the day before, I was so overwhelmed and I was so stressed because I had to do everything. And you were asking me to do this, and I had to do this, and this is going on. I said, that's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence at all. But I've gotten to the point to where I'm able, which I want to help every other man be able to recognize when you are not showing up to show out. It's a competition. You should always compete with yourself every single day to be the best husband, best father, best son, best cousin, best friend, best
Yes. Yes.
anything
Yes.
every
Yes.
day. Don't compete with nobody else.
Sure.
It's not their life, it's your life. Compete with yourself.
Yes.
And if you listen to this and you are 22 and you're having the same mindset, go get it. Nobody else is going to give it to you. The
Sure.
world is going to look down on you, but I say this confidently, and I don't say it with no type of cockiness. I will be the one who changed this generation because I have that determination to instill in men that it's not all about partying, going out and having a bunch of intercourse with a bunch of different women. I did that. What's the fun in it? It's pleasure at the moment,
Right.
but ultimately that dirt is gonna keep adding up. And if you don't have a support system such as my beautiful wife, Kendra, hey, look, you're gonna be one nasty man when you get to wherever your soulmate gonna be, or you're gonna just be alone. And people and women, if your husband is stubborn, like I was, like I still am sometimes, I own it. I own it. You are the one who needs to instill it into him.
Yeah.
And if he cares about you and he really, really loves you, he will change. I promise you.
Yes.
Yes.
I promise you.
Yes.
And because I consciously made the decision to change for my wife because I knew the pain that she felt. I knew what I
Yes.
put her through.
Yes.
And if anybody, any man can sit here and listen to me talk at 25 and listen to what I have to say, and
Yes.
you don't want to make a change, you don't want to talk to me when you are in a time of need and you can't do it by yourself because I'm 25, you're ignorant. I'm trying to instill something into you.
Yes.
Now, I don't say that with hatred, but I say it with encouragement because I know that made you feel a certain type of way. I know it made you feel guilty. It made you angry. It's so many people that are going to watch this and be like, man, he thinks I'm this and that. He thinks he's so perfect. No, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it. Am I treating my wife better than you're treating yours? Am I
Mm-hmm.
living my life in a way that is more productive and more giving more contribution than what you're doing? We're all different people, but we should all have the same vision, and that is to make a difference.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Love
Right.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
We all need to make a difference in this world. We need to show up, be authentic, and make a difference in this world because the world needs it. The world needs it. The world needs it. Quentin, you know, we just want to honor you for sharing your story with us. We just want to thank you so much for showing up in this space and helping men and women to understand that transformation is a process, pain is progress. Look at pain as something that will help you to evolve and to grow and to transform your life. You have helped us today to understand that if we have a good support system that is rallying around us, it could help us to transform. You help us to understand that when we have meet a breaking point, we must surrender. We must come to that space of acknowledgement. We must come to that space of acceptance. You also help us to understand that we can show up in our homes and help our wives on so many different levels. If it's to carry the garbage, if it's to help to make up the bed, if it's to cook a beautiful dinner for her, if it's to help her with the laundry, you as a man really help a next man who's going to listen now or listen on the replay to understand that we as men need to show up in our marriage, in our relationship. We need to show up and be authentic. And we also need to listen to our partner, if it's your fiance or your wife, listen to what your partner has to say because they may be struggling with something
Yeah.
and you are the person who needs to make the change for them. So you're helping us to understand as a man, we could step back and we could listen to our partner, what they really have to say to us. And if there is a change need to happen within us as a man, we can do it. We can do it. We can show up and we can do it. Thank you for explaining all of this morning
Wow.
to us. Joan,
Wow. 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 Quentin, we have to have you back as a returning guest. You have given us such a clarity.
Yeah.
Those who are watching us live, those who are watching us on the replay, what a powerful moment
Yeah.
that you have explained to us. How is it to really manage when all the goodness is happening in our lives and our relationship? That's all good. But when those moments, because they will show up at some point in time,
Mhm.
and when those moments show up, how do we handle it?
Yeah.
Because that's the key. How do we handle it? What decision are we making in that moment when emotions are everywhere? How are we handling? What stand are we taking? And who is going to be the one to hold us up and support us up to push us forward? So our wives, our fiance, our husband, who do we have there? And that is why, as you mentioned earlier in the conversation, it is so important to surround ourselves with wonderful people because they're the ones because everybody get down sometimes. Everybody get down sometimes because whatever moment, because that's part of life. We go through challenges. But when we can have your lovely mother, your mom there, your wife there, your friends there, and that can hold you up, that is where the beauty is. That is where the magic is. So thanks for helping all of us
Yeah.
understand. And you taking the time, the courage, the determination, and being vulnerable this moment too, to share with us, share with the world what kind of man you are, the emotion you feel sometimes. And you went to that space and you shared that with us. So we just want to congratulate you for who you are as a person, as a human being, as a father, as a mentor, as a friend, who you are. And may you continue to be blessed because, and we're going to say God, because God is your centerpiece. That's being your guiding principle. So we just thank you and we thank everyone who's been watching us this morning on the live and who's going to catch us on the replay. And today, please connect with Quentin. Connect with him if you're looking for mentorship. You just want to tell Quentin, tell us how we can connect with you. I know we got stuff in the links, but let us know. Give us your phone number. Let us know how we can connect with you. Someone who's looking today.
So typically, I would give my business number, but I want to change it up a little bit. I'm gonna give you guys my personal number to reach out to me. Now,
Wow.
if you spam my number, it's okay because I learned how to block. But you can reach me at 251-635-8140 or Quenton, Quenton, at plantoo prevail.com. And I also wanted to end with one more thing, if you guys wouldn't mind. And this is just for the men that's listening. We have three types of people. We have those who won't accept it at all. We have those who this resonates with, but they don't have that support system or they don't have that confidence to go seek that help. And then we have that third who is that person who seeks that help. And there's something that men should understand. If we think about history, if you're not, your spirituality is not, that's not where you're at, that's not your belief, that's cool. Go back to history. When have you ever thought about women being violent? Where do you think that came from? Women felt the need that they had to defend themselves because of our aggressiveness, because we are hunters. Literally, that's how people describe us, warriors, the hunters. We have instilled in them that mindset of fight or flight. And now women are tired of it. That's how we can talk about racial injustice. Women are tired. Women started fighting back. And now women are fighting good men, and good men are fighting back, and then it's repetitive cycle. So Do you want to get to that point? Is the
True.
question of the day. Do you want, if you have a daughter, do you
Mm,
want a man
True.
coming to your
True.
daughter and doing the things in a relationship that you're doing right now?
Yes.
To be a business owner, do you
mm-hmm.
want your team to do the things that you're doing in the
Mm,
workplace that you're doing at home right now, that you're doing as a business exec? Think about it. And if you do, good luck to you, because that's, you know exactly where it's going to lead you. If you don't want to accept it, then business is not for you. You have to be putting your blood, sweat, and tears into this
yeah.
consistently. Consistent resilience and perseverance and persistence. It's important. And you got to get used to being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I will leave this in last but not least.
Mm-hmm.
Seek help.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
absolutely important, Quentin.
Yes.
Because we sit there and we tell ourselves that, you know what, I'm gonna just sit here. I'm going around like a revolving door all the time. You know, it's time that you get up and take action with your life.
Mm,
Reach out to Quentin, have
yes.
a talk with him, and see where things go because he will give you that space
Yes.
that you can be honest and authentic with yourself. Reach out and have a talk with him.
Yeah.
You
He'll help.
give him his personal number and you can call him and have a talk with him.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself.
Yes.
It's time that we all invest in ourselves. Stop waiting. Take this action this moment, this minute. Take the action. Invest in yourself. Call Quentin and have a talk with him.
Yes.
And if I don't answer, leave a voicemail, because if I see a random number, I typically and I might answer every now and then, but if I do not answer, leave a voicemail, and I promise you, I guarantee I will get back to you. No matter if I get a million calls, I will sit here all day and make those calls, because I have been called to serve,
Yeah.
not to be served.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love
Wow.
it. Call to serve, not to be served. Love that. Love that. Let
Wow.
that sink in. Call to be served, not to serve. That let that sink in today. Yes. So to all the people who joined us today, we just want to say thank you so
Wow.
much
So
for
much.
sitting with us for this hour and listening to this 25-year-old young man sharing with us his journey, giving us some tools that we can incorporate in our lives and start to see the transformation that we need to see with our lives. If you cannot do it on your own, reach out to Quentin. Have a
Yes.
talk with him. Sit and have a talk with him and experience a transformation in your life. Don't sit in that mental prison, wrapped in chains, and telling yourself, I can't do this. And if you can't do it anymore, it's time to make that transformation. Reach out.
Yes.
And to Quentin, thank you once again. Joan, thank you
Thank
once
you.
again. Tommy, thank you once again for being behind the scenes and helping us to run the show every Monday and Fridays. Thank you so much. And on Monday, we have Quentin' beautiful wife, Kendra. She's going to be here to talk to us on so many levels about women, relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you got to join us on Monday.
I mean, she's not as good as me, but yeah, she alright. She alright. I'm just playing. I gotta go in the other room after this. So I was that was a joke. I just want to
Right.
state that if I go missing, y'all have my personal number. Y'all have my personal. Please call. I share my location with you and everything.
That ain't going to happen. That
Just look
ain't
at
going
the
to happen.
replay.
No, she's amazing. We had
Yeah.
an on
Yes,
chance to talk with her.
yes.
She's amazing.
She's an
Wow.
absolutely amazing woman. And she will be on Monday and she will give us some tools also that we can use to incorporate in our lives for us to stay beautiful and comfortable in our skin.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much and have a wonderful weekend. See you back here on Monday evening. And it's from 7 to 8 is the show on Monday evening. So see you guys on Monday. Thank you so much and have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend. Bye bye. Love you guys. Bye bye.